Hello everyone. Welcome to Programming in C for Beginners. I'm Amit Kumar and this is the 19th tutorial more about data types. In our previous tutorial, we have discussed about variables and data types. In this tutorial, we are going to dig a bit more about data types. So let's see. We can assign values to variables while declaring them, and you have seen that already. Now, and remember that it is a variable. Hence, its value can be changed any time during program execution. So if we are having a variable and if we have assigned a value to it, it doesn't mean that this is the final value for the variable. It is actually the first value of the variable, and hence this process, assigning the first value to a variable, is known as initialization. Later on, whenever you want, you can change the value of that specific variable. It means we can reassign a new value, and of course we can do that like I have done here. And note that we will not use data type again, because this is something which most of the students who are doing programming for the first time commits. Actually, even I committed the same mistake when I was learning programming for the first time. So if you have already declared a variable by specifying the data type, then you need not to specify this data type again anywhere in the program for the same variable. Okay, so declaration is done only once. Okay, a variable will contain only one value, though we can assign as many values to a variable, but at a time it will hold only one value. So if suppose in a program, if we have assigned many values to a variable, then definitely it will hold the last value assigned to it. Now, providing the first value to a variable is known as initialization, and I already told you that. In C language, variable declaration should be the first statement of any block, and any block means these opening closing braces. These are the same symbols that I have shown you in the previous tutorial with the main. If any block have started, then definitely you can declare a variable within that specific block. Now let's see some data types, memory size, and of course their ranges. Now if we talk about the char or character data type, we know the data type is a keyword char, and in memory it occupies 1 byte. Okay, and it ranges from -128 to 127. Now I am sure you might be wondering why we are talking about integers when we are dealing with characters. This is very special thing, and it is known as ASCII codes. So you will go through that video later on, and that is something that we will discuss later on. Just relate these numbers to the number of characters that we are having in C language, right? Okay, there is two more versions for the same, signed char and unsigned char. Now signed and unsigned are also keywords, and they are just telling like this particular character, this particular data type is signed one, hence the data is ranging from negative to positive, and this one is unsigned. That means you cannot provide any sign to the character, so hence it is from 0 to 255. So overall all of them have 256 number of characters. Now these are the various versions of integer which we can use, starting from the short, signed short, unsigned short, int, signed int, unsigned int. These are the memory size. You can see all of them occupies 2 bytes of space, and that's why the range is like this. Now let me tell you, these memory size, especially in case of C language, is compiler dependent and operating system dependent. Hence, maybe in your computer integer is occupying 4 bytes of space, right? And here it is shown 2 bytes. So this is one of the complication with C language. The amount of space a certain data type will take in memory depends on the compiler and the operating system both. Now these are some more versions of integer, and 2 versions I have shown you. The last 2 are actually version of floating point numbers. So the first one is float and the second one is double. If you remember the previous tutorial, I have shown you those zeros, right? So in case of float, if we would have taken double, then definitely the output would contain that many decimal places. So that's why I told you I will tell you some of the ways through which you can actually decide how many decimal places should be there in a number. We are going to discuss that later on. Now let's see these things. practically. So in the previous tutorial, I've created this program tutorial 18. Now I'm creating another program known as tutorial 19.c. Now here's the program. So if you remember, last time we have written this much. I'm just copy pasting it just to save the time. And I will delete the unnecessary things that I don't want. So I don't want these things now. And I'm going to change the name of the variable as well. So let it be variable only. And here I'm creating a variable. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to tell you a function, a predefined function available in C language. And that function is actually used to check how much space this certain data type will take in memory, or this certain variable will take in memory. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to call that function. Function name is size of. Okay. And to this size of function, you will pass the variable. I guess it's okay. And the returning value, actually this size of function will return a value, and that value will be nothing but the size of this variable. So that value I'm holding in a variable known as size. So just telling you one more time, here I have created an integer variable holding 10 to it. I have also created a size variable in which I'm storing the size of this variable actually. So definitely this will return 2 bytes if we will go according to the chart, but that's not true. Okay, if you will run this program, okay, let me print the value of size as well. I will not print variable, I will print the size. Or let me print both, okay. So the first one will be variable and the second one will be size. So here, the first one is actually variable. So I will write down the variable name, then a comma, and then another variable name. Now, definitely the first %d is to represent variable and the second %d is to represent size. Okay, so let me run this program and you can clearly see the output over here. The first output actually representing variable and the second is representing size. Okay, now size is nothing but a variable holding the size of this integer variable. So this size is actually printing in bytes. So you can clearly see on my system, this integer variable is taking 4 bytes of space. So it might be something else in your system. Okay. So let me check now about float. Okay, so let's see and let me run this program again. So there is an issue. Actually, program is running, program is giving the output, but you might think that why it is printing 0 and 1076, something like that. Now, because we are printing the variable value with %d, it should be %f, okay, for float. And let me run this again. And now you can see the output of first variable is 10.000 and size is 4. So definitely float also takes 4 bytes. And now let me check this one for char. Okay, now I'm going to assign a character over here. So let it be @ and of course we have to change the format specifier as well. So now it's completed and I will run this program now. Now you can clearly see the output for character. Right, the size is 1 byte. So for character, it occupies 1 byte of space. For integer, it occupies 4 bytes of space. For float, it occupies 4 bytes of space. And of course, these size may vary depending upon the computer system and operating system that you are using. So we have discussed about the amount of size they accept. Now, depending upon the amount of size, the range is decided. As much bigger the size is, that can support that much bigger value. So let me show you that with an example. If we talk about this certain program, it's very simple. It will print 10 and there is no doubt in it. Definitely it will print 10 on the screen. Now, when you will run this program, you will end up with a compile time error like overflow in conversion from long to int. So if we will provide a value which is beyond the range, right, definitely these kind of warnings can appear. Now, this is just a warning. And you can see the output over here. The output is -188.15703. So why it is coming negative is something that we will discuss later on. But you can perform the R&D on various other data types and you can check how much size it takes in memory. And of course, you can even check the values, whether the values are within the range or not. These ranges and everything else I have mentioned in this table. So that marks the end of this tutorial. Hope to meet you in the next video tutorial. Till then, thank you and happy programming.